applied to our real life, right? Like our personal lives. Because if you think about it, everything in your life is a system or a process or a routine. And so when I'm talking about evaluating systems, today I'm going to be talking about how we can evaluate the systems in our professional life and in your business. But I want you to also be thinking about, is every area of my life being optimized? Is my morning routine optimized? What about the conversations I have with people? Heck, what about the people in my life, period? Am I optimizing every aspect of my life? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So I want to start by just proposing to you, where do systems and processes start, especially for real estate agents or entrepreneurs, anybody who's even leading a team or who's stepped into a leadership role? Where do processes even begin? Where do they start? Right. And I've put some answers here for you, but when I started thinking about it, it's like, okay, most of us start a process because we just dive into it, right? We just dive in, we get started, we do these things through trial and error, or sometimes it's just through a bad habit. Sometimes it's just through poor routines that we have. As an agent, I want you to think about a current process that you have right now that you kind of just started because you had to sink or swim, right? You had to start lead generating, but did you really know what you were doing? Or did you just dive in and you were like, I have to start converting these leads, even if my scripts aren't perfect, even if I don't know exactly what to say, I have to start converting people. I have to start having these conversations. And then after you convert somebody, what do you do next? Right? Okay, well, I guess I should probably schedule them. Okay, I should get some paperwork together. Do I have them sign a buyer agreement? Well, I know I have to have them sign a listing agreement if they want to sign. Anyways, my point is, like, our minds are just constantly going 100 miles an hour. And sometimes it's just through trial and error that we develop a system or we develop a process, right? But it's not always optimized. We're not always able to see every single aspect when we're in a rush, when we're trying to just keep the ball rolling, when we're just trying to move the needle forward a little bit. We don't always take a step back and look at the whole picture. And that's okay. That's why I'm here. And that's why we have admin in our life who are able to do that for us. So these are the things I want to talk about today. And like I said, I don't know if this is going to take the whole 45 minutes. It might just be 30 minutes and then we leave it open for some discussion, which is totally fine. I love discussion. But here's what we're going to talk about today. I want to make it short, sweet, and just get right to the point. We're going to talk about, where the heck do you start? If you have systems and processes in your business, or maybe you don't have any systems or processes at all, where do you even begin? It just seems so overwhelming to even think about it, right? So where do we start? I also want to talk about attracting the right people, the right clients. I think that agents and even entrepreneurs and business owners, we're not told enough that we don't have to attract everybody, and we're not going to. We want to attract the right people who align with our mission, our values, and our vision. So I'm going to talk a little bit to you about attracting the right people to be on your bus. Then we're going to talk about the process of evaluation. So I'm actually going to give you step-by-step instructions on how to evaluate a process in your business. And I even have created a free downloadable for you guys to use, because even if you choose not to work with me, or you want to just implement this into your own business, I just want you to feel successful. And I want you to leave this conversation feeling more empowered than you did when you entered. So I'm going to actually give you guys the tools. Okay. And then we're going to talk about the areas that should be reviewed. Hi, Cari. Welcome. It's good to see you. Come off mute. Say hi.
We literally have like 9 inches of snow. This is what it looks like after I've been outside shoveling snow down. It is unbelievable. Like, everything shut down. So my morning is very thrown off. So but I'm here.
You're here.
You're
Yeah.
doing
And
the snow.
there's no, my dad always said, you don't need to shovel sunshine in Arizona.
No, you do not.
So, anyway, so welcome, Cari, and please feel free to chime in. Um, let's just have this conversation together. I'm always open for
Yes.
that. So, I'm actually going to, at the end of the slide deck, I actually have areas that I think that should be reviewed in your business. I have a list of things, you guys, you don't even have to think of it. I'm going to provide you with the evaluation tool. I'm going to provide you with the areas that you should review in your business. How easy is that? Like, we're just starting off the Wednesday easy. Okay. So the systems and processes within the business are really a fundamental foundation for providing a high level of customer service. And we are in the servant role, you guys. We are in the relationship building business. And without efficient and effective processes for communication, execution, follow-up, customer service is fragmented. And trust and confidence can be lost if your systems are not providing the impact that you want. They can provide an impact, but it might be a negative one. So we want to prevent that from happening. Okay. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. Any questions before I move on? Perfect. I see some people. No. Okay. So to give you a little bit of idea of who I am, most of you on the call know who I am, but those of you who are listening or watching on YouTube, my name is LoBosco. I am a holistic business coach and consultant, operations partner for Cari herself. And I also do a lot of operations coaching, and I actually do training for admin. And so here are all the companies that I'm partnered with, because you guys, collaboration, like life is just more fun when you can collaborate with lots of different people and groups. And so Leveling Up You Business Coaching and Consulting, that's my company. I also partner with Kathleen Metcalf, who does hiring, training, small group training and coaching for admin, and any agent who's looking to hire admin. We do it all. The Growth Collaborative, which is Cari and I's group here at EXP. And then, of course, I'm also a realtor within EXP. So lots of things going on. That's what I like, you guys. I like having multiple things. Okay. So I told you before, like, we're going to start with just the nitty gritty. We're just going to dive right in, and we're going to talk about, where do you start? So if you have a system and or processes in your business that are just not functioning to the highest level, or you feel anxiety when you're thinking about them, or you have people complaining, communications being lost, or you're just looking to build out systems. Let's say you have nothing. You're a brand new agent. Great. We're starting from scratch, and that's cool. You can do that. We're going to identify holes and gaps layer by layer. Okay. It's kind of like that saying, like, we don't want to eat the elephant all in one bite. We want to take, just small bites of the elephant, and eventually we're going to eat the whole elephant. I liked this picture because it really does. When I think of systems and evaluating systems, I think about one puzzle piece at a time. Right. When during COVID, my kids were like very obsessed with building puzzles, and them building puzzles really just meant that they were like finding the outside pieces, and then mom and dad had to like do all the inside. That's just how it worked in our family. So, but what do? Right? You like flip over every single piece. You kind of start putting them in order based on color. And then you just have to slowly start putting the pieces together. And that's how system evaluation works. But you have to slow down in order to take a step forward. You have to slow down to speed up. You really have to be able to create a map. And most businesses today run with poor systems that don't focus on optimizing all of their processes and their profitability. In fact, real estate agents are really not great at optimizing processes. And why is that, you guys? It's because real estate agents are focused on adding new clients to their business. They're always focused on the low-hanging fruit, and that's where we want you to be. So if you feel like you're not optimizing or building out systems, that's okay. It doesn't have to be your niche. It might be something that you're not good at. This is actually a conversation that Cari and I have pretty regularly because this is a red flag for you. This is an opportunity for you to say, hey, I'm not really good at this. It's taking me a lot longer to do this, and it's just not bringing me joy. So I might actually want to hire somebody who's good at this and who likes doing it, right? But we have to start somewhere. So agents, they don't always spend the time on increasing conversion rates, optimizing their processes, or evolving their systems. So this actually results in poor systems, processes, customer service, and repeat and referral businesses, right? You're kind of just always running on empty. You're right at, like, you know, when you're going to get gas and the gas tank is like right on empty and your light comes on and you're like, oh, I have 20 more miles. I can make it. I can make it. I have 20 more miles. I have 10 miles. I can get there. I can get there. I don't need to get gas. I'm okay. So that's kind of what this reminds me of. We want you to stop and fill up your tank. And if it's not you filling up the tank, maybe you need the higher leverage to do that. And so if you want to have that conversation with me outside of this, please reach out to me because I'm happy to evaluate with you and talk about what that would look like. But getting back into the processes, so each process should be viewed as a small machine that feeds into your business. And when all of the small machines work together, they optimize and grow the business. And here's what's really important, and the people inside the business. So if you think of every process, every system that you use, including your CRM, your marketing, your lead generation, how leads are coming in, even down to having a buyer consultation, a listing consultation, how people are getting paid, your hiring process, your onboarding process. All of these things are like small machines and they feed into your business. And when one machine isn't working, it's like a domino effect. It could actually impact multiple parts of your business. And most importantly, let's think about how it's impacting emotional capital. Let's think about how it's affecting the people that you're working with, your clients, their families. If a system that you have is creating stress on your client because communication is lacking, it's not just affecting your client, it's also affecting the people in their life, right, Cari?
Yes.
Think about if a system or a process is not working between you and your admin or your TC, communications being lost, things have to be entered manually in multiple different places. How does that affect your team?
Mhm.
Right? Because your energy is so contagious. And when you're stressed out, it's hard to hide that. And you shouldn't be hiding. It's actually a red flag that this needs to be evolved. This system or the process needs to be addressed. So I've put a website here because this is really where I want you guys to start. This is how I start a lot of the systems and processes that I create. And even with Cari, when we were building out our onboarding process, this website, and hopefully I can share it with you. Can you guys see this? This mind map website? This, you guys, this is free. This is totally free. And I want you to see that you can create, just going to this website, I'm just going to put it, actually go back to here. Let me put this in the chat. There you go. Okay. You have to use this, you guys. It's so incredibly easy, but you can create a mind map. You can create an org chart for your business. You can even create projects on here and a project plan, and you can share this with other people. And it's, like I said, there's no cost to this. You can obviously upgrade and stuff, but I wanted to share a few of the things that I've created. Just really, really super easy. Okay. So when a lead is captured, for example, this is when I was the director of lead generation. So a lead is captured. I reach out to them within 5 to 10 minutes for an introduction. I do the LP Mama questions: location, price point, motivation. Are they working with an agent? Do they need a mortgage? Or are they buying in cash? And then, of course, schedule the appointment. Once I do that, it's okay. I determine who the lead is going to be assigned to. Which agent is the lead going to be assigned to? Or if they're not going to be assigned to anybody because they're not ready yet, I assign them to a long-term follow-up plan. This is all in my CRM. So once I determine who the lead is being assigned to, I can set an appointment. I send a confirmation email. I add them to the calendar, and I ensure any additional reminders are set up. Reminders for the agents to update me. Or I assign them to a long-term 33 touch, a quarterly call, or an email only drip campaign. How easy is that? I'm literally taking 15 minutes of my time to sit down and plan this out like a map. So I want to sit down when I'm thinking about my intention for building out the process or the system, and I'm capturing it all in this mind map. This allows me to see as an admin or as a director of operations, how to lay it out and how the system is going to look, right? I'm actually mapping it out. I'm creating a roadmap for myself. Okay, that's the first thing I want you to think about. Can multiple people access this? Yes. So if you were on a team or brainstorming, yes, 100%. So Candace, here's something really fun. I created Cari and I's entire onboarding process in this website here. And I was able to share it with Cari. I'm able to share it with our VA who helped me do the build, and they can edit it and do things to it. And I can see what they're doing.
I was thinking about onboarding. We just had a conversation within our group about how we want to optimize that. So that's really a cool tool.
Yep. Yep. So then here, like, for example, when I was building out the single agent onboarding, I had to do it like this. I had to actually sit down and put down like, okay, introduction email, then what's the next step? Completed form with triggers. Okay, step 2, step 3. And then there'd be tasks underneath these. I mean, it's messy, but this is how I got my brain to see we're starting here at the bottom of the mountain. How there's all these different paths that we can take to get to the top of the mountain. The goal is to reach the top of the mountain. So if my goal is to reach the top of the mountain, what path am I going to take? I need to create the path, right? I need to create the path. And so the only way that I could foresee different obstacles was to actually create a map for myself. So I highly recommend this tool. Okay. So then moving on here, before we dive in any deeper, I want to reiterate this point. Okay. You're inevitably going to not win over every single lead. And that means I'm not just talking about leads here, you guys. I'm also talking about like people. When you're trying to recruit somebody to EXP, or when you're trying to capture a lead or get a listing or get a buyer. Before you even start thinking about fixing the holes in your systems and processes, it's important to remember that you're going to lose leads. Okay, the point of your system is to have a large number of leads come in the top, and then you filter out those who aren't an ideal fit and ultimately have a limited number of qualified leads who you actually want to work with. And I'm also talking about like people you want to hire. I mean, think about when you're hiring for an admin or a VA or just some leverage on your team, or even you want to bring on a showing assistant or another buyer into your team. You want to attract as many people as possible, and then you want to filter them out, because not every single person is a right fit for you. And that includes clients. And sometimes the best thing that you can do is say no to somebody now and let them down now, than letting them down during a crucial piece of the transaction or a crucial piece of their business building. Right? It's good to identify these things right away. I want you to remember that your job is to attract the right clients who align with your vision, your mission, and your values. You don't need to work with every single person. You don't have to recruit every single person, because in the end, ultimately, you won't be happy and neither will they. Anything that you want to add to that, Cari? Oh, what's wrong with your sound?
I don't know.
Oh, there you are. Hello.
Am I there now? Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can
I was
hear
like,
you.
I don't know what's happening. I'm having a little bit of Starlink slowness. So,
It's the
because
snow.
literally, I'm not kidding. We have like 9 to 10 inches of snow, heavy snow all over
Oh
all of
my
our trees. So I'm just hoping power doesn't go out. Yeah, I think that you're exactly right. The more clear you are on what you have, what your culture is, what you have to offer, you're going to attract the right people. It doesn't need to be everyone. And therefore, the mind mapping that you do and the processes that you do are going to not be designed to be perfect for everyone, because that's not a reality, but they're going to be designed to
Right.
be more for your people,
100%.
Yeah,
So
I love it.
remember that the goal of fixing any process, any system, whether it even be to identify a CRM that you want to use, right?
Yep.
The point of it all is not to convert every single person who has a conversation with you. You don't have to do that. Instead, it should be to provide opportunities for qualified leads or people or potential hires to stay in your funnel long enough so that they eventually convert.
Mhm.
Okay. And then, but while you're doing this evaluation, while you're filtering out leads, like I said, whether it be leads or someone that you're looking to hire, if they're staying in your funnel long enough and in front of you long enough, you're going to know right away, or eventually, this isn't the right fit for me. So let's now dig in a little bit deeper, and I'm going to now give you like these step-by-step instructions, you guys. I wanted to make this as so efficient for you. You don't have to write these down, because at the end of this, I'm going to give you a link to a downloadable PDF that you can use that walks you through the different questions that you should be asking yourself as you're actually doing this. Okay. So I have that free download for you. But the first step in evaluating your processes is going to be to identify the objective. So again, what's the goal? What's the intention? And as Brene Brown says, clear is kind. Be as clear as possible. Be as precise as possible. What is it? What's the outcome that you want to obtain here? What's the goal? What's your intention? How do you want people to feel? If it's an onboarding process that you want to evolve, how do you want people to feel at the end of onboarding? Do you want them to feel supported? Do you want them to feel empowered? Do you want them to feel like that they can propel forward? If so, are you providing them with the accurate tools and resources that they need that's going to answer all their questions and build a solid foundation for them? So identify your objective. If your goal is to hire someone, why? Why do you need to hire someone? How are you going to feel after you hire this person? And how is this person going to feel working for you? So just some food for thought there. The second thing that you want to do is outline the process. This is that mind map, the step-by-step. And I found this really cool picture of this yellow color that matches the rest of my slides. Hello, that's so cool. So I had to put it in here step by step. And it's just a little step at a time. Sometimes it takes a little while. Maybe you want to work with your team, get a different perspective as you're building out your mind map. I'm a certified Fierce Inc. instructor, which is Fierce Conversations through Susan Scott. And one thing that we talk about is the beach ball conversation. Because when you're developing a system or a process and you're by yourself and you've siloed yourself and you're not asking other competing perspectives, I can tell you right now that that system and process is not going to be built out as well as it could be if you were collaborating and asking other people for their opinions or their experiences. You might not take their opinions and you might not use what they tell you to, but at least you're getting alternative perspectives. So outline that process, involve as many people as you can in the process. So if you're looking to hire some agents, what would that look like? Who is your ideal client, or who's your ideal agent or client? If you're looking to hire an admin, Outline that process. What's the first step for you in outlining the process? What does that look like? Once you build out the process, test, measure, and question. So build it out. Build it out in the CRM. Build it out in Asana. Build it out in whatever website that you're going to use, or if you're doing something with marketing, build out the process with the marketing coordinator. Build it out, test it. Then what I want you to do is I've made this really like easy evaluation tool for you. Oh, let me see. It's not showing you here. Hold on one second. I think I might have it open already. Here it is. Can you guys see this? So this is completely free. I'm going to copy and paste this in the chat for you. You can download it here. Try to make this as easy as possible for everyone.
I'll take these links and put them in Workplace because we have a number of people watching there too. So
perfect. So I want to actually show you. So let me stop my share because I think I'm only sharing one part of my screen. Let me share Adobe here for a second. So this is the evaluation checklist, you guys. And I actually created this checklist with Dr. Laura Sims. She works with me at Kathleen Metcalf Coaching. And she is a content creator, but she creates content specifically for university courses. So we created this with the intention that if each of you are students, how would this be efficient, effective, and purposeful and intentional for you? Like actually help you to get to the next step. So I don't know why this is not, here we go. No, it's not going down, but here's the questions. I think that there's like 12 questions total, but I want you to use this tool to evaluate the strength of a system or a process and identify opportunities for improvement in your business. So after you create the process, or if you already have the process built out and you just want to ask these questions, is the process achieving the intended result that you want? Is essential information being consistently and correctly communicated in the process? Does the person executing the process have the essential information they need to complete the process? And the list goes on. So if you identify, if there's 4 questions in here that you would identify as a no, then that is a sign for you that we need to evaluate that process and change it. Okay, so I tried making this just as efficient for you as possible. So this is a free download. Go to the website, download this. It's a totally free PDF for you. Okay, let me get back to my. Okay. So then finally, the last thing that I would tell you to do is then once you have tested, you've built it out, you've tested it, you've asked yourself the questions, the powerful questions to actually evaluate the process, that's when you evolve it. Because if your business is not evolving and growing, then you're dying, right? If you're not growing, you're dying, is what Tony Robbins says. So the system, we want it to evolve. I would think about, Cari, how many times has the EXP onboarding process evolved and gotten better in the past year?
oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, multiple times it's improved, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we want it to. And every single time that you change something, you're changing something because everything around you is growing. The market's not the same as it was a year ago, 2 years ago, or 5 years ago. Our conversations need to evolve. Our systems need to evolve. What we're training people need to evolve. And so all of that is part of a system. And I want you to be thinking about evolving your systems at least quarterly. You should have somebody in your business, an admin or a VA or some leverage who is helping you to evaluate systems in the downtime and asking questions like, does this process still work? Are we sending out surveys and asking people how they're feeling about this process, especially after a transaction or after you hire someone? Are you sitting down and creating goals with your agents? Are you helping them to achieve the goals? There's so many opportunities for growth here. Any questions on these 4 steps? Linus, how are you feeling? This is Linus's first time on Zoom, Cari. I'm very
Oh,
excited for him.
awesome. That's awesome.
He's joining us because Bill Price referred him to our mastermind.
Oh, very cool.
Yep,
This is all very valuable information. Just listening in. Thank you.
of course.
Yeah,
of
so
course.
I think Linus, now that you're an EXP family tree, hopefully you can see all of the different things that we do. I know I talked to Bill and he said, oh, I need to get my people more into EXP family tree and all the training. So that's great news. I'm glad you're here.
Yes, we're glad that you're here.
He gave me the schedule, so I'll be hopefully attending tomorrow too, if I can make the time.
And it's
Very
always
cool.
live streamed, so you can go back and watch later if you can attend them live as well, which is cool.
So you guys, I told you I was going to make this quick. We've been on the call for 33 minutes because I'm so used to Cari and I just like zooming through our stuff. So, but I wanted to leave you with the systems that you should be exploring. Okay, you definitely should be looking at these different areas of your business: marketing, lead funnels, your pre-buyer consultation, or when someone is a pre-buyer in your CRM, what does that look like? Pending or escrow, post-buyer, pre-listing, a pending listing, a post listing. Oh my gosh, the list goes on. Onboarding. Don't forget about offboarding. What does that look like for your team when you have to offboard somebody? Payroll, reporting. So I'm talking about reporting for like agents who have goals, or if your team holds their agents accountable to achieving, I don't know, 50 calls a week or 5 contacts a week or whatever their goals are. Open houses. How are they reporting that information to you? How are you then holding them accountable? Hiring process, recruiting, training, coaching, team meetings. This is a really big one, your team meetings and your weekly meetings. All of your meetings should be prepared and structured. You should be coming in, you should be talking about what the goals are. If anybody has had any objections, who's not met the goals, what roadblocks are in their way that you can help them get out of their way. You're not taking responsibility. You're just helping them to get to the next level. You're just being the conduit, right? But keep your meetings structured and organized. Nobody should be leaving a team meeting feeling like, oh my God, that was such a waste of effing time. Nobody should be feeling that way. They should be feeling empowered after every team meeting. Okay, after every weekly meeting with your C-suite or your admin or your VA, whoever is leveraging you, if you have a weekly meeting with your buyer agents or your listing agents, how is that structured so that it's optimized? Time blocking for success. There's so much training around time blocking. Submitting contracts. I put this on here because I remember when I was a chief of staff, a lot of agents were confused about where the information should be submitted. And this, I actually read a statistic and I had it on my PDF for you guys to print out, but I took it off. The statistic was we spend 30% of our day, 30% of our waking hours finding information.
Wow.
30%. How can you, as a team lead, cut down that time? By providing it for them. Just like how I'm providing this stuff for you guys. I don't want you to have to try to find anything. It's right here for you. But then if you've already built it out and the system is good, how are you communicating the system? How are you ensuring that when someone asks you, oh, Candace, how do I do that? Who do I submit this to? Who do I email this to? You're pointing them back to where they can find that information. All right. So then tax prep is the next one. No, that's a little scary. And, you know, there's probably some trauma people are holding on to when I mention IRS, but we should have a system for this, or at least we should be working with a company like a CPA or an accountant who has a system and a process, and all we have to do is show up. Prospecting, open houses, like what's your open house system? We should be training our agents how to do this effectively and training them on how to find all the material. It's freaking stressful. Linus is going to be a new agent. He's never done an open house before. What's the first step? If he's not set up for success, most of us just fall back and we're like, we're not doing it. Right. And then culture.
You are correct.
It's scary.
Open houses are pretty fun. I have done a few actually.
Oh, good for you. That's awesome. That's awesome. So as long as, you're setting your newer agents up for success and you're letting them know and you're communicating with them what the system is in the process is, and they don't feel alone. Most of us don't want to do things on their own. And if we mess up with somebody else, at least we're not alone. So that just makes it a little bit more fun. Open houses with other people are fun.
I also just downloaded this Mind Meister, and this is pretty cool. I'm just kind of flipping back and forth here and playing around with this currently.
I'm telling you, I
So
nerded
fun.
out. I'm not going to lie. I nerded out on that because it's very useful and it's
Very
very
new to
user
me.
friendly. It's user friendly. Awesome. Don't forget about culture too. When you guys think of how to strategically build systems and processes around culture, culture's events, team appreciation, client appreciation, gift, that's all part of culture. So it's conversation. So is training and coaching for your team, holding them accountable, having fierce conversations, being a daring leader. That's all part of culture, and it can be systematized. And then lastly, I put on here agent reviews. Make sure that you're asking for reviews and giving reviews of your agents, not just like client reviews from like Zillow and Google and things like that in your post close plan, but how are you reviewing your agents? How are you helping them to grow and thrive, right? So this is just an idea. Take a screenshot and make sure that you're, reviewing all of these different systems in your, or if you don't have a system built out, let's talk about building one. And so just a reminder, you've got this. You're not alone in this. You have so much support surrounding you. All you really need to do is ask. Because if you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, or you're feeling uncertain, especially if you're making a transition, everyone else has gone through that. Everyone has gone through that moment of their life, and they can be a beacon for you. So you're not alone. Relax, enjoy the journey of building your business. And I am telling you, with a little bit of competency, your confidence will build over time. And you're not alone. I want you to reach out to me if you have any questions. I want to be available for you and everybody in the Growth Collaborative and EXP Family Tree. If you have questions about even where to start, even where to dive in to evaluating your systems or your personal life, you guys, because it's one and the same. We don't need to be an avatar at work and then, outside of work, we're a real person. No, be you all the time.
Mhm.
So Haley, one thing for people that are on a team, and there are obviously some systems that we can evaluate on our own. However, there are things like team meetings or, things that would need to come from that team leader. So how can a person help get to that goal or help facilitate that if they have ideas or ways that they want to contribute?
Yeah, that's a great question. So most leaders want the support. They want someone to come to them, not saying, hey, we have a problem. Yes, I know we have a problem, Candace. I want a solution. Okay. So I would encourage you, and that's a great point. I would encourage you that if you see a hole and a gap in the business, and this is how I train my admins, I say, you want to present the issue, how it's affecting people, how it's making the impact, and your solution. And it doesn't have to be the correct solution. Sometimes we have to bring multiple solutions or have a conversation about it. And sometimes it's just, hey, why don't we put some time on the calendar where we can talk about this when you're ready to? But this is a repeating pattern that I'm seeing. And I would love to provide you with some solutions or a sample schedule of what a team meeting should look like. And if Candace, if you want a structured team meeting schedule, email me and I'll send that to you because I have it. Any other questions? I told you this is going to be quick, you guys. It's 12:40. It's 12:43.
Perfect.
Cari, anything else that you would add? Or maybe I missed?
I don't think anything was missed. What other questions do you guys have? Oh, let me check and see if there's any questions on the live stream too. Okay, no questions on the live stream, but we have multiple people watching live, so that's good. So any other questions or comments or ahas? I mean, honestly, I think it's just about, people get overwhelmed. People get overwhelmed with systems. It's like we don't, we overcomplicate, I think most of us, and it can be very simple. And so I like that you kind of just even showed how you kind of go through the process of figuring out systems. And then, just a mindset around being okay that these things are going to change. They don't have to be perfect. Like all of those things, I think are the biggest thing that people come to me and they just get overwhelmed because they're trying to think of the end in mind and start with everything being perfect and it's never going to change. And that's not really the reality. We have to be fluid. We've got to be flexible. We also have to just move forward and do something, because then we can optimize as we go and we learn. And so it's just a mindset. Those of us that aren't very operationally inclined, naturally, we overthink things, I think, a lot more.
Well, and that's a really good point, Cari, and it brought up for me that sometimes when we feel so overwhelmed, a lot of us either just push it aside or we don't deal with it. We just don't deal with it until we have to. And the thing is I don't want anyone to feel that way, because I would rather you take a step back than stay stagnant, right? When I think of stagnant, I think of like yucky pond water. Like I think of like pond water that has like scum and like it just smells really bad. And sometimes we get like that when we don't want to deal with an issue or we don't want to deal with fixing a system, even though we know it doesn't work. Listen, if you're procrastinating on it, it's probably, again, it's a red flag. It's a signal for you that is not your strength zone. And that's excellent. I don't want it to be your strength zone if it's not. That means that we need to find someone else who that is their strength zone. And there are people out there. And maybe you're not going to rebuild your system because you don't have the leverage. Reach out to me, because part of Kathleen Metcalf's company, is we do systems documentation and evaluation. So if you are interested in having and sitting down with Dr. Laura, who is the one that helped me build out that list of questions, she'll sit down with you and she can go into your business and look through every single system and set things up in your CRM, in Asana, whatever it is that you need to be fixed. Let's have someone else who really enjoys that take a look at it, who's detail oriented, who can see holes and gaps that maybe you're not able to see because it's your own business. Just don't stay stagnant. Don't feel stuck. You don't have to be stuck.
I just talked to our group this week about procrastination and how really it's more of the symptom of why, like the fear of why you're not doing something. So for me, I had all these things I wanted to do, but the daunting thing was if I start and then I make more work for myself, then I'm like, so I'm just not going to start. So I think once you figure out what that fear is, then you can kind of help take a step back, like you said, and then maybe just focus on like 3 things and give yourself a time frame as well.
100%. Very, very good point, Candace. We get stuck in the fear, and sometimes many of us, we just keep pushing and pushing and pushing forward, but yet there's still like that looming thing that's like broken, whether it's in our own personal life, a conversation we're, afraid of having, a system where we don't want to look at because it's just so overwhelming. And you're like, I can't afford to fix this right now. I can't afford to hire leverage. I mean, the stories just go on and on and on. Again, you're just not alone in this. There's so many people who can help you. All you have to do is ask. Anything else, you guys? Was this helpful for you? Was this helpful for everyone?
Yes.
Awesome.
The tools are helpful.
Awesome.
Yes.
I'm so glad. Well, please feel free to reach out if you guys have any questions. I do have a lot of other resources. Like I mentioned, that structured team meeting schedule, if you want to know what that looks like. just ask me. I have like all these like random tools in my toolbox. I'm happy to share
And then
them.
you're also going to be doing some training in January. So the training is geared more towards admin and operations, but agents who don't have admin or who are trying to figure out what that next leverage point might be, the training could be for them too, right?
Yeah, so let me actually put that here. Thanks for reminding me, Cari. So in January, I am going to be starting a small group training for admin, specifically around how to help you as the agent create repeat and referral business. Okay, so we have this small, let me see, I'm trying to find like the link here if I can find it. Maybe if I can't, I'll just put it in the chat later. But yeah, it's specifically around what admin can do. It's a 9-week course. Or I'm sorry, it's 9 sessions and it's over a whole quarter. And so, yeah, I'd love for you guys to sign up, or if you have an admin who you think would benefit from this or a team that would benefit, let me know, because that's what we're here for, is this course to help actually train the admin on how to build your business.
Also, by the way, I just thought of this, Haley. For those of you that are working on agent attraction, you might be talking with somebody who does have an admin. This is something that could be a great agent attraction tool. If you are under me in our revenue share, reach out to me, because we can work together and maybe we could figure out how to get them into it where we, pay for part of it or something. Because here's the thing, most people don't have a lot of resources for their admin. They don't know a lot of great admin coaches. They don't know a lot of admin training. Most brokerages don't provide that. They have to, go out to somebody else. Haley is doing this and it's going to be very affordable. She's doing it on purpose to bring value to our EXP family tree, to bring value to our growth collaborative, and also to have something for us to invite guests to and really have them be helped. And that's the goal. Like, look, there's no strings attached. Just because we help them get to this, it's not like they have to join EXP. But this could be a way that you say, look, I'm willing to invest with you or help you or just provide you this opportunity that you would be hard pressed to find somewhere else, because I really believe it will help you in your business and I'm your friend and I want to help you. And then you can also see like the awesome people we're surrounded by and the opportunities that we have. These are the sorts of things that could be valuable. So definitely use this information, share it out there, post it on your social and say, I've got this unique connection that's doing this in January. If you've got an admin that you think would benefit from this, reach out to me. I want to talk to you about an opportunity to get you into this training. Who knows what will happen on your social media?
Yeah, 100%. So we're here to serve. I mean, most of you know how, Cari and I present these things. We pour into others because it helps us to grow and thrive. And that's just how we show up and contribute. So I'm here to help you guys however I can. And yeah, like Cari said, if you know a team that's looking to come to EXP and they could use some additional admin support and training or coaching, I'd be happy to do that.
Yeah, I think that'd be awesome. Any other last questions for Haley? As you guys know, she's amazing and is always available to, she'll do a free strategy call with someone if you're thinking that you need some help, you're liking what she's talking about. Haley and I also are live on Level Up, both in EXP Realty on YouTube as well as in the world every Monday right now, Monday morning. And so you go back to EXP University in Workplace and see a lot of the Level Up recordings, or you can just type in EXP Realty on YouTube and check it out. And we're bringing some good information. We actually moved our Real Talk on Facebook to that just because we thought it was just getting in front of more people and bringing more value to more people, which is really what we're focused on. So just an FYI, you also might want to send that link to some people if you think it would bring them value. So
yeah, because we're talking about our topics are specific around, like Cari will present a topic and then Cari talks about how it benefits the agent, or like the agent perspective or the CEO leader perspective of that topic. And then I come in and talk about the admin side of that topic. So what the agents, how we stay in our own swim lanes, but then also how we come together and collaborate to build whatever it is that we're talking about. So
yeah,
it's been really
cool.
powerful. We've had some good feedback.
All right, guys, I'm tuning off. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
you.
Nice to meet you.
Have a great one. Enjoy the snow.
You too. All right, you guys. Well, if there's no other questions, so we can definitely sign off. We've, Haley, it's almost 11:55. So you did a great job, kept us under our time, which is always the goal. And great information. You guys know how to reach out to Haley on work chat if you need to, or of course, reach out to me if there's anything I can do for you. We appreciate you being here. Watch out for the December lineup, because Haley is going to be posting that, I'm sure, and or our assistant Arnell going to be posting it in EXP Family Tree, and it'll be on our socials. Grab those and go share them with people. Make sure it's on your calendar. We've got some great people, some great topics. So we look forward to seeing you in December at a lot of our trainings.
Bye, everyone. Thank
everybody.
you.
Bye.
Bye.